So now we're going to talk to Stephan Sieber. He's the Sieber. He is the CEO over at Transporeon. I believe he's coming into us out of Germany. Stephan, guten Abend.
Good evening. Guten Abend from Germany. How are you guys?
How's it going, my friend? Introduce yourself real quick to our lovely American audience and global audience.
Yeah, so as I was introduced, Stephan Sieber, I'm the CEO of Transporeon. We are a Germany-based logistics platform, digital logistics platform.
Beautiful. Well, sustainability and a path to net zero is increasingly coming into focus for supply chains. You've heard all about it all day here today, right? Yep. No matter which industry you're in, they're acting well, particularly for supply chain. Which areas, though, do you see in particular that have the most potential for optimization?
Well, I mean, I think we heard the whole day about many potentials that we can address. And I liked actually one of the speakers just before that said, you know, we don't have to wait for disruption. We're not even looking for disruption. It's really the basic blocking and tackling, as I guess you summarized it, right? And this is what we should start with, because I think we don't have the time to just wait for non-fossil fuels and e-mobility, which is going to come, and hopefully, right? And thankfully. But I think there is also in the current means already so much that we can improve by just improving asset utilization and reducing empty miles, wait times, right? There's a 5.5 billion economical damage every year just in the US on underutilization of asset. Now, that's an economical damage, but there is also an ecological damage coming out of that. And addressing this is a good starting point.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't realize it was that big of an economic impact, but it's unbelievably large. So tell us, how can Transporeon help industry stakeholders and carriers and shippers to reduce their CO2 emissions? Where do you guys come into play?
Yeah, so we are committed to, as we call it, bring transportation in sync with the world. That's sort of our purpose. That's our why, right? That's why we get up in the morning. That's why we do what we do all day long. Because when you look at transportation, it is not in sync with the world, right? There's a massive lack of transparency. There is a lack of interoperability. We heard just that before. And there is a lack of digital decision support. Now, we do take three ingredients, right? We do take data, connectivity, and real-time insight. And by combining this, we do provide applications to the participants in our network, on our platform, to improve their ecological footprint, right? I'll give you a few examples. We provide a connecting load agent, which is an algorithm that provides a shipper, when the shipper wants to put and assign a transport on our platform, a list of carriers, his carriers that are close by unloading within a certain circle around his loading station in the near future. So he can then automatically select the carrier that gets a good backload or a good follow-up load, which is not only an ecological, advantage, it also creates a good business opportunity for both, hopefully, right? Another example is a fleet viewer that we recently launched that shows to dispatchers on the carrier side which are the lanes where they have most, empty runs or most idle capacity, and how can they reduce this to improve the asset utilization.
I used to work at a 4PL, and one of the things we would do is that route optimization. We would put, we'd do the RFP, we'd put everything into a TMS, we'd run the route optimization. Yep. Lo and behold, you would save tons and tons of miles and tons of money. And it makes you think, why isn't this standard? Why isn't every company doing this? And why are we talking so much about reducing these empty miles and trying to drill that home? Why isn't it just common knowledge at this point?
I think to some extent we can say that our industry is still a bit behind the levels of digitalization that we see in other industries, right? And the industry, as a result, is very fragmented in very different ways, right? We heard about the different technology platforms that are in place. We heard about the communication channels, the communication ways that in many ways are broken and require a lot of manual and human interaction. And the result is that we're not talking about a network. We're talking about a multitude of subscale mini networks that need to be optimized in themselves. And when you look at the network logic that basically says that the value of a network improves disproportionately with every additional participant coming, right? That exponential improvement actually, unfortunately, also counts on the exponential, worsening of the effect. So these subscale mini networks you can only optimize them to a certain extent. And we believe that increasing interoperability, increasing the scale and the size of a network increases disproportionately the amount of optimization that one can achieve. And that's in sort of where we talk about the matchmaking function of our digital platform, which is, as I call it, the icing on the platform cake, and brings the market into equilibrium, i.e. matching supply and demand much faster and more efficient than ever before. And that's, again, an economical as well as an ecological advance for all the participants.
Yeah. So, Stefan, it sounds like you're talking about Transporeon can help you with not only the blocking and tackling, as we talked about before, and that matchmaking of those loads within a specific circle, and building those good business relationships and good economic and ecological decisions in the route optimization, but also bringing together those different platforms and bringing about the efficiencies and the transparencies of different siloed data to help make that come to fruition, right?
Absolutely. We strongly believe in interoperability. It's a network of networks. We strongly believe in sharing data to make sure that we get that visibility that we need, not only on ETA, but basically also on capacity and so on and so forth. And that's actually where digital tools and digital platforms can help a lot.
Stefan, thank you so much for your time today. People who want more information about Transporeon, where should we send them to?
Yeah, well, visit our webpage, www.transporeon.com, and you'll find a lot of green stuff on it. Specifically today, our website turned green this morning and will stay green for the rest of the day. And there is an awful lot of content coming from our sustainability month, which was the month of March. So there's hopefully a lot of good content to be found.
Oh, nice! Like literally green.
It's literally green. Yeah, normally it should be yellow, but today it's green.
Okay. All right, we love it. Hey, man, take it easy. Have good times over there in Germany.
Right.
We appreciate it.
Take
Thanks
care.
for coming in
guys.
from across
Bye.
the river.